This is the Take the Throne Fantasy Football Podcast, where championships are built and fantasy kings are crowned. Hosted by Al King, Gabe Hernandez, Ray Fletcher. With producer Mike Four, we break down everything you need to dominate your league. Rankings, strategy, bold predictions, and the takes that will help you win your championship. If you're tired of finishing in the middle of the pack, it's time to step up. Because in fantasy football, you don't watch the throne, you take it.
What's up, guys? Gabe Hernandez here with Take the Throne Fantasy Football Podcast, and we're going to start a series here, DCDD, Depth Chart Deep Dive. We're going to look at team by team in divisions, go through everyone, the quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight ends, any position battles going forward, who to avoid, who to target. Let's have some fun with it. Let's go. Welcome to today's DCDD, Depth Chart Deep Dive of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is an interesting offense for me. Last year, if you remember, I kind of called it. I said I don't love this offense, and the offense didn't really deliver. Emeka Egbuka got off to a hot start and looked great. Phased off really cold, and if you stuck with him, you possibly lost in the fantasy playoffs. Baker Mayfield, middle of the road. I do have him as my quarterback 17 this year. Last year, we were talking about Baker Mayfield in the top 10 with Mike Evans and Godwin and Egbuka with a loaded offense. This year, I don't really see it. I mean, I like Godwin, I like Egbuka, but I don't see that explosive offense like I do in the past. They also bringing over Zach Robinson, offensive coordinator from the Atlanta Falcons, who I don't really love their offense, if you know as well. Like I'm not a big fan of what they did in the past. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this offense. I kind of have everyone in the middle, with one exception. There's one exception, and I think I'm going to surprise some people. Baker Mayfield, like I said, quarterback 17. Going into the running backs, Bucky Irving. Running back 16 on my list, but I love me some Bucky Irving this year. The one thing I will say about Zach Robinson, Bijan Robinson had a great year. I think he knows how to utilize the running backs, and Bijan Robinson was RB1 last year. I could see Bucky Irving cracking the top 10 running backs. I have him at RB16. If you remember last year, I didn't love Bucky Irving, and most of that was not his talent. It was just where he was being drafted last year. I think the hype was too real. I kind of love that the hype is dying down on him right now, and you can get him at a value possibly 4th or 5th round. I love that because I do think, again, he could crack the top 10 in this Zach Robinson system. Look at kind of what Bijan Robinson did last year. I'm not saying he's going to be Bijan, but I'm saying he can succeed and have good numbers. Kenneth Gainwell I have as my RB38. That might be a little higher than he should because last year he succeeded in that Steelers offense. I think most of that was due to Aaron Rodgers just kind of checking it down. But I do love Kenneth Gainwell, and he actually helped me in a lot of my fantasy teams. I think I had him on every single team last year. He was my waiver wire pickup that no one else wanted, and I happily took him. So Kenneth Gainwell has the RB38. He's definitely worth drafting. I don't know how long he'll stay on your team, or he'll probably ride the bench all year, but he is someone to have just in case. And because Bucky Irving does have an injury history as well. My wide receivers will go into – I have Chris Godwin ahead of Egbuka. I have Chris Godwin as my wide receiver 31 and Emeka Egbuka as my wide receiver 33. They're right there next to each other. I just feel like for me, Baker Mayfield has that connection with Chris Godwin. He's played with him for a few years now. Chris Godwin's all reliable to me. I love me some Chris Godwin. I think he's super ultra disrespected and not drafted high enough in fantasy leagues. I think a couple years ago, you could argue he was top 15 fantasy wide receiver when he was healthy. So Chris Godwin, amazing receiver. I have him ahead of Egbuka. Egbuka worries me just because, like I said, the downfall last year, and I don't know what this offense is going to be. Zach Robinson, I'm not 100% sold on. Egbuka, I'm not 100% sold on. There's a lot of question marks on this team. I don't know if this is going to be the same Buccaneer team we've seen in the last couple of years that's been explosive. We'll find out, though. They're obviously going to be drafted. I wouldn't reach for the stars on any of these guys. That's just me personally. Some people love Egbuka. I know it's probably 50-50 on him right now, but I'm leaning towards I'm leaning towards staying away from him this coming draft. And then I'll go into tight ends. K. Dotton. I don't have him ranked in my top 25 right now. But that could be a mistake because K. Dotton is a solid tight end. But I don't know what's happened to him the last couple of years. He's kind of disappeared. Mike Evans is gone. There's got to go some targets around, some touches, some touchdowns, and some yards. Who's going to get him? K. Dotton could be that guy. We'll see what happens with this Tampa Bay offense.
Want to put your business in front of passionate fantasy football fans all season long? Advertise with the Take the Throne Fantasy Football Show and connect directly with a growing sports audience every single week. From live reads to custom partnerships, we'll help get your brand in the game. For pricing and more information, reach out to Al at thronedigitalmarketing.com today, and let's build something big together.